Welcome to PE and Everything, your PE-based learning hub. Today, in this video, we're going to be talking about blood vessels. So the circulatory system is made up of three main parts: the heart, blood, which we have already covered in video 2. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that. And the third part is blood vessels, which we are going to be talking about today. So just to keep you in the loop, the heart and how that works, that'll be in the next video, video 8. Blood vessels will be covered today. So let's get this ball moving. Blood vessels, what we're going to be talking about today. So we've got the names, we're going to draw some blood vessels, and then we're going to talk about the role of each one. So as you can see, we've got 3 rows here, which means there are 3 types of blood vessel: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Okay, so first we're going to have a quick sketch of the arteries and what they look like. So as you can see, they've got kind of a thick wall, a small lumen there. So as I write on the diagram here, thick walls, small lumen. The lumen is the central tube in the middle, the hollow piece. Okay. Ooh. Now for the veins. The veins have got a bit of a smaller wall, because they're a smaller blood vessel. A bit of a smaller wall, a bit of a larger lumen. Okay. So as I put there, thinner walls, large lumen. And the capillaries, they are made up of cells. Okay, so they're very, very tiny. Very, very tiny. They are also very narrow, and they are elasticated. Now we're going to briefly talk about the roles of each one, just very briefly. So we've got to remember that arteries carry blood. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. So if you see a blood vessel carrying blood away, that's an artery. If you see a blood vessel carrying blood to the heart, that is the veins. And the capillaries deal with the gaseous exchange. The gaseous exchange of muscles, organs, and the alveoli. Okay then, now we're going to dedicate each slide and go into a bit more detail about these different blood vessels. So we're going to start off with the arteries. And as you can see from the illustration, that the arteries lumen in the middle is quite small and the muscular wall is quite thick. Okay, now when arteries branch out into smaller blood vessels, these are called arterioles. Okay, so these are called arterioles. So the main function of the arteries, they carry blood away from the heart, as we already know. All arteries carry oxygenated blood, except for the pulmonary artery, because this is obviously taking blood to the lungs. Their thick muscular walls allow them to carry blood flowing at a high pressure. Okay. I've just run out of space down there, so I'm going to have to put it up here. Okay. High pressure blood. Perfect. Now I'm going to move on to veins. As the illustration shows, they've got kind of a thinnish muscular wall, and they've got quite a big lumen. When these branch off into individual blood vessels, they're called venules. Okay, venules. What I'm illustrating here is inside each vein, you've got these valves, and what they do is they prevent the blood from backflowing because they're not moving at a high pressure. Okay, so let's get into it. Veins, they carry blood towards the heart. They have valves to stop blood flowing the wrong way, which we've already talked about. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except for the pulmonary vein. They carry blood at a low pressure, so they don't carry blood at a high pressure, so that they have thinner walls and less muscle than arteries. So, moving on to capillaries. Now I'm going to give you a quick illustration here, but the illustration I'm giving you has to be obviously drawn a bit bigger because capillaries are very small. So thin, they are approximately about 5 micrometers in diameter and are composed of only 2 layers of cells, and they are so small that the red blood cells have to travel and flow through them in single file. Okay? It's important that we talk about these different facts. We've already talked about arteries and veins, and now we are moving on to capillaries. Okie dokie, so here are the functions of the capillaries. They carry blood through the body to exchange gases and nutrients with the body's tissue. They have very thin walls, so substances can easily pass through them. Now, when we say substances can easily pass through them, we're talking about the oxygen, nutrients, and the carbon dioxide dealing with the gases exchange, okay? So they are also very narrow, which means lots of them can fit into your body's tissue, giving them a large surface area to let gas exchange happen more easily. Okay. It also means that blood can only flow through them slowly, giving more time for gaseous exchange to occur. Perfect. I think we got something here. So let's move on to a cheeky question. Okay, if you feel like you have gained the knowledge in this video, that's perfect. We can crack on with the question. If you feel that you need a bit more learning and time, go through the video again to enhance your learning. The question is a 2-mark question, and it states, explain one way that the structure of an artery makes them suited to their function. I'm going to write here, the role of an artery is to carry blood away from the heart. We know that. As their walls are thick and muscular, this allows them to carry the blood. Come on, mate, I ain't got all day, son. This allows them to carry the blood that flows at a high pressure. Okay, we know it's a 2-mark question, so let's go break it down. So what are arteries? They carry blood away from the heart. And one way that their structure make them suited for their function, we've talked about the walls being thick and muscular to allow blood to flow through them at a high pressure. That's perfect. 2 marks. Just want to say thank you guys for watching the video and taking the time out today to learn. Until next time.